went for a mammogram the other day, and as nervous as it made me to go in a hospital now because of COVID, I decided, like they say, go get your medical tests. Better to have a clean bill of health than to wonder for the next I don't know how many months what my mammogram looks like. So I go in there, I forgot, no, it's been a year, I'm good about it. I've had one every year for, I won't tell you, it might tell you my age, a little closer to my age. I go in there and does anyone know what they do? Women know what they do. But actually I was telling a man last night, he had no freaking idea what they do. So they put your breast, I have too much clothing on to really show you, on this plate with this big machine. This is how it's always been. Nothing's changed. That's the real key here. They never really up the game. They really never make it easier or less, well, it's not painful. It's not really painful, it's just stress. No, to some people I know it is really painful, so I am sorry. But for me it's not really painful because it isn't a needle. Anything that's a needle is painful to me. So anyway, they put your breast on a plate, like here, let's just say on a plate, on this metal plate, and then they lower like the guillotine, they lower another piece of equipment. And they have you stand like this, depending on which breast it is. This if it's your right breast, this if it's your left breast, and move your feet and move your shoulders and move around till they get you exactly right. Then the guillotine or the press comes down the vise. The vise, it keeps getting lower and lower and lower and lower till it gets your breast and it starts squishing it more and more and more and more. And just when you think it might explode, she's like, okay, then the technician steps back and she goes in the back and she goes, and you're like this, if it's your right breast, you're like this, and she's like, hold your breath. So you hold your breath and then she's done. And then you do the other arm. And I think there was a third view. They move you around a little bit over here, over here, over here. So here's what I was thinking. Women have been doing things like this, doing this breast exam just like this for as long as I've gone for a mammogram. So here's what I think. Let's just say when men went to get go for prostate exams, let's just say they took their penis and they put it on a plate just like this. They might have to lower it or raise it depending upon the person, like they do with the machine for women. And then their balls and their penis, sorry guys, are on this plate. And then they have to stand a certain way, and down comes the vise. Closer and closer and closer and closer until it squishes and becomes like as flat as a piece of paper, just like someone's breast. Do you think, this is my question, do you think if the men went through this exam like this, of course they'd be screaming in pain and probably blacking out from the pain. Don't you think if that was true, they would have invented a machine that would be a lot less painful, a lot easier for women? But because only women take this exam like this, there's the same machine now for like 30 years. So I ask you if Big Pharma or whoever makes these machines had to go through this, the men, would they be squishing themselves? Would they have the same experience? Would they have the same machine? Wouldn't they have changed it by now? So yeah, something to think about. Peace.